bring it through fast raps and critical state.
Dun dun dun. Part 2 of our look at the Tyranid army of Old One-Eye in Breakup Gaming Society's Warhammer 40,000 Conquest Retrospective. In video 1, we met the titular Old One-Eye and his signature cards. Now we're going to look at the whole thing and talk about the story behind this build. As I started getting clobbered by certain members of my playgroup who were running certain decks and decided that this was going to be my vehicle for revenge. So here we've got the whole dang thing. That big long row, those are army units. Above that, we have attachments. 6 carefully considered supports and 1 event. Now, when I was designing this deck, I was going for 2 things. 1, infest planets. 2, deploy elites. Infest planets, what's that? So as you deploy forces to the 5 planets that come out in a flop in a game of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, Tyranids have the ability to mark some of them with that infestation token, signifying that the Tyranids are arriving in sufficient numbers and are degrading the infrastructure and ecosystem of the target planet enough to where they're going to start getting certain bonuses. They're going to fight better, be able to do certain things better. So these cards are mostly designed so that I can A, quickly start infesting, and B, get out certain combos of very nasty elite units. Why did I do all this? Here's why. The goddamn Adeptus Sororitas. Now, I think I mentioned previously that after the game was canceled by Fantasy Flight, there was a group called Team Apoca that kept making expansions and filling out the card set on their own dime just out of love. And one of the factions they released were the Adeptas Sororitas. It's a human faction. It's the Sisters of Battle. They're basically, the nuns with guns. They come in and, highly trained in martial arts and shooting and killing and all that good stuff, but also firm believers in the ecclesiarchy. That is, the imperial religious cult of the God Emperor himself. And they represented that in gameplay by creating a new mechanic called Faith. See all those acrylic fleur-de-lis tokens right there? Faith was a thing that they could generate. And if you built your Adeptus Sororitas deck according to the logic of the cards they designed, you would have a lot of affordable mid-range women warriors who would suddenly just start generating faith on their units at key planets. And basically, it was extra shields. I had a couple mid-range decks that I was kind of proud of that I put up against this, and I never won. I got rinsed every single time. The guy who ran them had a falling out with another member of the group, and I never got the chance to test my Tyranid against the Adeptus Sororitas. But yeah, if you have 5-6 warriors out, and so do they, you cannot chip through the faith in time before you just lose in the shootout. It was really nasty. So I got to thinking, it's like, how could I ever counter this? So let's go back to Old One-Eye. Like I said before, the idea here is to quickly infest planets, get infestation effects, and run a good enough economy so that I can start getting out elites. But which elites and why? So what I'm going to do now is show you the 9-card combo that this deck is the top of this deck's pyramid. I call it the Faith Killer because, again, those little things give them extra shields. So how do you do enough damage to stop them? So here it is. So I thought about it a long time and just sifted in my brain. It's like, how do you do this? And I came up with a 9-card answer to it. Card number 1, the Shrieking Harpy. It's a flying unit, so it's hard to hit. good command presence with the 2 hammers. Attacks for 2, takes 5 to kill. But look at that combat reaction. After this unit is declared as an attacker at an infested planet, see? You got to infest planets first to make it all go. Each enemy non-elite army unit and token at this planet gets exhausted. In other words, they just fly in there like the necromancer from Raised by Wolves and start screaming, and everybody who isn't an elite hits the deck. Why is that important? Because the Adeptus Sororitas, these decks, it was all mid-rangers. I don't think Mark, the guy who's running it against me, had 1 elite in the whole deck. So hopefully by the time the key battle comes, you have an infested planet and you pop a shrieking harpy on it. If they can't take it down, its first attack is going to exhaust your entire force. Then what? That's when you follow up with the Striking Ravener. Again, 2 hammers, 3/5, an elite, not cheap to deploy. After this unit destroys an army unit by an attack, ready this unit. Are you starting to see where this is going to go? And the cherry on top, this is why I call it the Faith Killer, is you give them acid maw. Look at that. Lets your people spit acid that dissolves faces. Isn't that? Look at that. Dude's having a lot of fun over there. Attached to an army unit you control, but here's the kicker. Damage dealt by attached unit cannot be prevented. Which means attacks by the Ravener cut right through Faith. You can't use Faith to stop it. Well, he's sitting there, you're picturing a canoness in her battle armor with a brazier and a book or in one thing in her hand and a bolter in the other. Oh, my faith in the Emperor will... And it doesn't matter. The Ravener's like, screw your Emperor, man. I'm hungry today. And of course, that gets even worse. If you can strap Imgarl Factor on them to cheaply boost their attack ability. And what happens is if you have a bunch of non-elite, exhausted Adeptus Sororitas lying there, look at that. If I can destroy him with an acid maw, he'll just stand up while they're discombobulated and holding their bleeding eardrums and kill them off one by one. That is the faith-killing scheme. We're going to come back in a sec. I'm going to deal out a test play of 5 planets and see if this fragile little scheme works. Now, here's one thing that's sort of a weakness about the deck, and that is you have to do it in order. You have to be able to infest first for the elites and the rest of the schemes in this deck to kick in. If you can't do that, you're stalled. It's kind of a slow burn deck. So if planets come up in such a way that there are a lot of juicy objectives early, that's going to make old One Eye's job a little harder. But you know what? We're going to test it out, shuffle this deck up, deal a hypothetical hand from it, and see if my little scheme can build up steam based off a starting hand. Back in a sec.